Hello, welcome back to Auction Spy. This is the channel where we spy on properties going into auction. We do an appraisal, we start the deal, we see what sort of figure we think the property will work at, and subsequent to the auction, we then look back at our numbers and try and work out what the eventual purchaser would be doing with the property. Now, we'll be using a tool called Valap to appraise this property via different strategies. So we might look at service accommodation, buy to let, new build. So this week we'll be looking at a property in Crewe in Cheshire. Now, what attracted me to this one is the number of rooms. So 6 rooms. We looked at one recently which was a few more rooms, but the price was much higher than this. The price on that one was about 350,000 if I recall correctly. So number of rooms and the guide price attracted me to this one. Okay, so without further ado, let's look at the catalog entry. Okay, it's Heathfield Avenue, CW1 3BA, that's lot 48. So it's a Victorian townhouse, as we can see, 4 double bedrooms, 2 reception rooms, kitchen diner leading to a cellar. So it's like accommodation over 4 floors. So looking at this, all right, so straight away we can see there's no EPC. So if we had an EPC, it might help us determine the size of the property. So we're going to make certain assumptions for this appraisal. So 4 reception rooms, what could we do with this property? You might be able to get 2 flats, perhaps. Not sure you'd be able to stretch it to 3. The basement or cellar doesn't look like it's that huge, but again, measurements would tell us. Okay, looking at the rear, it doesn't look that great either. So I'd say 2 flats, or we could do a HMO, a 4-room HMO, so a mini-mo. Okay, so let's appraise this and see what comes back with the numbers. Before we do that, go to the contract. So these are the legal documents. Again, always make sure you look at the legal documents and you get a solicitor to review them. They would see things you cannot see if you're not a lawyer, and it will save you a lot of aggro if there's anything that's been put in the contract, or if there's anything missing. So that prepares you for the auction itself. So I can't see anything that jumps out at me. This is fairly common now, so the buyer shall pay the auctioneer's admin fee. Sometimes the buyer will pay the seller's or vendor's fees. Maybe that will come later. Okay, what else can we look at? What's this? Harrison FC. Fittings. We're not really interested in that. Okay. Interestingly, we haven't got any internal pictures, but it's good they've got fixtures and fittings. There might be some stuff you can use. What's this? Premium Plus planning. Oh, the search is. Okay, so nothing really looks red. Okay, it seems alright. Okay, what's this plan for? Is that like a floor plan, is it? Or a plan of the... Okay. Right, so these are standard. I'll just register. Register Harrison PIF. What's that? Okay. As per contract, as above, as above. You get a lot of this as above, as per contract, not applicable, unknown, or whatever. A lot of non-committal statements. So just get your lawyer to look at everything and make sure that. So you see location on meter, not known. So I haven't seen anything that will put me off at this stage, but again, if I were to go for this, I would get my solicitor to review the contract. So let's do some appraisal. So 18 Heathfield Avenue. Start appraising now. Your appraisal. Oops, that's not what I copied. So CW1 3BA, CW1 3BA. That's 18, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. So 150, 155. Type, it's a house. Status is auction. Let's remove this. Submit for appraisal. Right, let's go. Alright, so I said there are two possible strategies that I'll be looking at. I'm not sure. Service accommodation is an option. I'm not so sure about service accommodation in the area, but we're part of the research one has to do. Let's look at let's do a conversion on this one to begin with. Right, we'll set 2 flats, assuming 2 beds. So let's just give it 150, whatever. We can create a scheme. Let's see what comes back if there's data. See what's going on here then. Okay, so 2 units. 2 there. Okay, so 2 units. See general prices in the area. Okay, sold prices 91,000. Sale price 109,000. Okay, so there's a bit of a difference there. So what I would do is I'll probably opt for something higher than the sold price's value, mainly because when the work is done, it'll be new, but we can verify. I suppose sold prices is a safer option to go for considering the market. So I'm torn between going for the average sold or average for sale. But even if we did for sale, which is what I've picked now, it's still not going to work. Now, how much is it going to cost to do works? Okay, it's not going to cost that much. So let's bring this down. I'd reckon maybe, okay, yeah, so you've got the utilities to do, you've got the separation of the properties, you've got planning to go through. I still think 114,000 would be a lot. Okay. If we reduce this to 500,000 each, 6. I reckon about 75-80 grand should do it. But still, 49,000. If we reduced our developer's profit to 20%, that comes off a bit. So I think the conversion isn't suitable for this one based on the prices. And obviously, if you go for auction and it doesn't sell, or it sells for 60,000, then you've got 2 exits. But I have to say that doesn't work. So let's go back to appraisals. Let's do HMO. Cheshire HMO. Same size again. Build the whole building. Let's do that. Scheme. Hopefully there'll be some HMO data from the area. If there's no HMO data, then that becomes a problem. Okay, so I reckon you can get 6 units. Okay, so I think it's probably more likely you get 6 units than anything else. Let's go here. Okay, save and go there. So double room en suite. Rent per month of 420. 420. Yeah, double room en suite, 420. I'm not going to touch this because I think these prices are okay. All right, so Valap tells us we might be able to get 6 rooms. I think you might be able to get 6 rooms, but the numbers still do not stack. So if we reduce this to 20, it could cost a lot to do the work, but I don't know if it will cost this much, to be honest. Again, you need to get a builder to verify that these numbers work. So even reducing the build cost and going for the top end double room en suite, still struggling to make it work. So I think this would not work as a HMO. Let's try one more. Let's see if a flip would work. How would a flip us? Bedrooms, is it 4 bedrooms? Let's try flip. Hopefully we'll have enough information for a 4 bed. That's, let's do 3 bed. Let's see what they've got. 6 months duration. Okay, there's some information. Okay, so our best bet. So sale price 158. Interesting. Okay. Is there anything that we may not need to do? Okay, so it's giving us light refurb, operating cost for 6 months. 6 months. Yeah, tax over costs. Could remove this one. Could give the charity on this one. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So it seems to me like the best option for this property, go back to appraisals, would be to do a flip, make a profit of £16,000, asking price 155, acquisition costs. Yeah, so our offer amount going here is £114,000, which is still below the guide price. Average sold price is 158, so really it's right up there. I'm not quite sure why the guide price has been placed that high. There might be other reasons. Probably worth doing some research in the area to see if you can achieve higher, because this is saying that the maximum sold price is 265,000 in the area, so there might be some room there. But for me, this doesn't work. A couple of reasons. It doesn't work as a buy-to-let, doesn't work as a HMO, doesn't work as a flip. The reason it doesn't work for me as a flip is that after completing on this property and doing the works, you have to put it back on the market and find a buyer at £265,000. The safer price is 158,000, but still, with this market, you're never quite sure when you're going to find a buyer. And if it takes 6-7 months to find a buyer, then it hits your profit margin. So sadly, this week it's not a deal. The property we've looked at is not a deal, but we'll carry on searching. So leave me some comments if you've seen any mistake I may have made, and I'm learning as well as going through these videos, so please share your comments. Thank you.